moment where we will get this up on the screen for the benefit of the audience. And as Mr. Gaines is pulling that up, just let me sort of recap the process. We presented the options to the City Council on last. Just go to PowerPoint. Just go to PowerPoint at the bottom. And then go into there you go. All right. Just let me explain the process. We engaged the services of a professional marketing / graphic artist. As a matter of fact, we really assembled a team of professionals. That team consisted of our IT consultants that we have been using for the last several years. They have intact relationships with both a graphic artist / branding and marketing professional who also has intact relationships with a web page designer. We felt that there was certainly some benefit from working with a team that has experience working together collaboratively. And when we sought price quotes to conduct this work, we were very pleased with the price quotes that we had received. We had already done some preliminary research and found that the cost quotes were very, very reasonable. And so the process was the marketing / graphic artist interviewed staff, myself, the city clerk, also interviewed one council person. There was a brief survey instrument that was completed. And the purpose of that was to ascertain information about the city of Clarkston, both the history, the current condition, and what our aspirational goals were. Also to ascertain what were some of our projects, what are some of the things that make Clarkston unique and different in the region. And so, armed with that information, the graphic artist proposed, it was 8 or 9 draft logos and taglines. And that process also included researching copyright information to make sure that none of the art or taglines that were proposed for Clarkston were copyright protected. They submitted that information, those drafts, to staff, and also one council person. We collectively caucused and discussed the options. It was felt that it's a little difficult to get 7, 8, or 10 or more people to agree when you present 8 options. We were advised, and certainly having gone through this before, we agreed that the best course of action was to sift through the multiple 8 options and to decide upon 3 options to submit to the council. And so those 3 options were submitted last Tuesday for consideration. You'll see those both in your package and you'll see those on the screen. And if I can ask Mr. Gaines to go through the options. Now, what you won't have the benefit of is the professional marketing graphic artist individual explaining in great detail the thought process and what those images portray. I am not a trained graphic artist. I mean, I could try to emulate that, but I won't do that. I think the council heard that last week. So I would just suffice to say, Mr. Gaines, this is the first option that obviously depicts the city of Clarkston in very fresh color with the tagline "Where possibilities grow." Obviously, that is in the shape of a tree, and the different color leaves is meant to depict the rich diversity here in Clarkston. Go to the second one. The second one, City of Clarkston, the city with spark. If you will look at the artwork at the top, you'll notice that those are individual people joined together, and that creates the spark in the middle in the tagline, hence the tagline, "The City with Spark." And the third one? The third one, that swoosh, as we call it, that could depict either the path that goes through the city of Clarkston. There was a comment last week that some people didn't realize that there was a path in Clarkston. There is indeed a bicycle path in Clarkston, and this summer there will be some additional path that will be constructed by DeKalb County along the CSX Railroad. If you're here in our building, we see that there are several bicycles that traverse our city from Stone Mountain going through the city of Atlanta. And so you see that depicted in that particular option, and the tagline is "The Path to Possibilities." That could either be the bicycle path or maybe Ponce de Leon. And so those are the three options that were submitted for consideration. And with that, I'll stand back for questions. You might want to leave one of those up so we have better light.
Which one was yours?
Thank you, Mr. Barker. Are there any questions on the council? Any concerns?
I would like to say, and I've spoken briefly with Mr. Barker about this, that since then we have very cordial conversation. I do not believe that it's too much to involve the council to more of a degree, certain degree. And I think we discussed ways of possibly addressing that in the future. I think I see, as a result of some of my conversation with Mr. Barker, some of the value in one or two of these. But hopefully, as time goes on, they say the devil's in the details. People really like on the council, at least this council member does, to feel as though we're having something to say about design actions that we've perhaps been thinking about for 10 years or more as we work with the city. And so that was my main objection. And, we're going forth when we do maybe redo the seal with that horrible font that it has. Maybe we can come up with something that people have a little more input in. And also, I know it's clumsy to include the public. There's so much process that goes into that. But this was not a time-critical thing. So maybe, I realize our city manager is just very busy, and that at times he does not have, you don't typically have the time to put aside to figuring out the minutiae of the best way to go through a process like this. Maybe so. I respect your schedule and your time that you put in. But I would like to, as time goes forward, especially with streetscaping designs and details that go into that, and even with the maintenance house, to be able to have a little more input into possibilities for that. Okay. Now, I can choose from one of these. That's all I had to say.
I just had a question about the color. The color that we have printed out here, the blue, like on that one, is the blue going to be more similar to what's up on the screen? Or I know you had said it makes a difference where you're looking at it.
Yes, it does. I would think that the blue that you have in your package in front of you is probably a truer color than what depicted on the screen. There are some nuances and shades, different LCD projectors, and so I would say that the color is probably closer to the, I don't know, what do you say, or is it closer?
More like the teal, because this is a duplication, and so this is again just on our copier in the hallway, whereas, and you can see when you look at the leaves, that have more of a yellow tinge, whereas
Yeah.
that's distinctly
You're-
green. So I
you're-
think it's more gonna be like that projector.
That's a good point. We talked a lot about the color blue, and the graphic artist made it a point to point out that this blue is a more, what was the word you used, contemporary? More contemporary color shade of blue. I guess graphic artists have enough discerning eyes to understand that the difference between what's an older blue versus what's a more contemporary blue. And once you pointed that out, I mean, I see what she's talking about in terms of it being a fresher, more contemporary color. So I think it is pretty accurate to what's on the screen. That's a little bit.
Any more comments from council? Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I think the process has been pretty sound. The administration of the city has been, over the years, I think it has been sort of eliminated and kicked around to some extent. Excuse me. And this, since they're the ones that are going to be responsible for being involved with the logo, they're going to be wearing it, seeing it every day. I think it's fine with me if they hire a professional to come up with this product, and I appreciate them giving us a choice between the three. I'm okay with that.
Diane?
I just wanted to make sure the colors are like that, not like the roof color of the strip mall down the street.
This color.
So you're saying that some of that's yellow?
No,
It's
it's more yellow on your
right now,
printout.
we're gonna hold up more yellow.
All right.
It'd be more that
You'll have a
way.
printout of
I can live with that, but you know, I don't like it.
Oh, okay, we're not having any public comments on this subject because I think the entire council knows what the public feels and thinks about this subject. Okay, so it's not up for discussion. It's up for a vote. Yes, it's up for a vote.
Consistent with our current policy.
Yeah, well, we haven't voted in yet, so we're going with policy. Okay, so now it's up to the council to choose A, B, or C, I think it is. Options A, B, or C. You have to choose one.
Did you go through those options? Want to say something? Yeah, I did.
So everything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But if you
I'm
need
sorry. All right, go ahead.
did Jason?
No, he was just running
Put it up.
the piece,
It's up to you to make the motion.
which is a very important job.
I make a motion that we, the council approves logo and tagline options, and right now, I would put forth option A as the motion.
You get a second.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
You had to hear which one?
Option A,
A.
with this color of blue.
Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Can I just say one thing, Mr. Mayor? Thank you for that vote of confidence. I just wanted to do two things. I wanted to respond to Councilman Hadlock. I hear you loud and clear. We really do try to anticipate and determine when and what's the best way to involve the city council. We don't always get it right, but it's not because we're not trying. Not only city council, and I'll just give you a couple of examples. I mean, we do have some things planned to involve council and citizens as it relates to the schematic designs of the Mary Morris House. I'll make an announcement about, obviously, we have a meeting Thursday to get that sort of input. And for the citizens, we want to involve the community. We made a conscious decision to involve the community in a different aspect. We wanted to involve the community in terms of the photographs that would go on the webpage. We felt that it was more appropriate to involve the citizens in that process because with a logo, there are some technical things that you need to consider in terms of copywriting. You also want to make sure that your logo is, professionally done. Second, if you have a contest about a logo, you can only have one winner. Whereas with a contest with photography, the thought is that we would get multiple submissions from the citizens regarding photographs that depict Clarkston, both past and present. We could choose multiple winners, have a big celebration and a reveal of, say, 10 winners. But if there are 100 submittals, everybody's a winner. You can still put those other 90 submittals of photographs on the web page in a gallery. And we felt that was more appropriate and more inclusive than a logo contest. And I just want